pretty fun to make. It's a new logo for a new year. A new year full of awesome things. So, what awesome things await us in the year 2016? Yes, that's going to rock. I'm not too sure about Star Trek Beyond, though. Yes, that's awesome too. Spidey's gonna show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Okay, the screen's getting a little crowded. Wow, okay, one epic thing at a time. Please, let's start with something a little small, shall we? The final issue of the Secret Wars event from 2015, huh? I said something small. You guys want to see how this event ends, don't you? Yeah, I thought you might. I just hope reality doesn't break again. If it does, I'm holding you responsible. It's finally here. The end of the Marvel company-wide crossover event that saw the Marvel Universe collide with the Ultimate Universe. And yes, it blew up real good. We had some laughs to be sure with this story that was marred with delay after delay. Reality faded to white, and we were left with the nefarious Dr. Doom controlling a patchwork world made up of different realities. These realities included a world where Peter Parker remained married to Mary Jane, a world where She-Hulk led a team called A-Force, and even a world where the Civil War still raged on. Many titles showing these worlds were hit and miss, and I covered the two I thought were really good. Now we've reached the end of our tale. Our heroes have finally returned from Battle World, a little singed but triumphant. There have been many changes in the Marvel Universe, as again the pieces on the chessboard are scattered since characters are on different teams, and many books show changes to their characters, like how Peter Parker is a CEO, and Spider-Woman is very pregnant. As of this video, we still don't know who the daddy is. Future viewers will probably laugh if I say the daddy was Hawkeye or someone. It is Hawkeye, isn't it? Sorry, I'm getting way off track here. Despite all the delays on what was going to initially be an 8-issue limited series, we got the answer to how our heroes returned in January 2016. Jonathan Hickman, the series writer, promised questions will be answered, plot threads will be resolved, and how the new status quo for the Marvel Universe going forward into the new year would be forged. Well, we've already got that new status quo going. I mean, it did cover the new Guardians of the Galaxy #1. It would be nice to see how it all started. Does Hickman deliver on his promises? Do good things really happen to those who wait? Let's take a look and find out. Actually, since we're jumping ahead, I'll have to sum up what has happened in the last 8 issues so no one gets confused, and do it as fast as possible. Here goes everything. Reality went boom, and Reed and a select group of heroes made it to an escape pod. Doctor Strange wakes up in another world and finds himself working as Doom's major domo on Battle World. He also finds Reed's ship, and a ship full of baddies, like Thanos, also appears. Reed and his group make trouble for Doom, and Doom is revealed to have Reed's family all with him. Susan, Valerie, and Franklin think of him as a father figure. This naturally annoys Reed, and he has everyone mount an assault on Doom. Thanos finds Ben Grimm and releases him so he can cause trouble. The Human Torch, Johnny Storm, is also revealed to be the sun that keeps Battle World warm. Black Panther and Namor go off to find the Infinity Gauntlet, a glove that has gems that can control time, space, reality, soul, mind, and anything else. The wearer pretty much can control all of reality. It's pretty much a Deus Ex Machina. Anyway, at the end of issue 8, they go off to fight Doom, with the gauntlet in hand. Everyone got all that? Good. On with the show. Why that took 8 issues to tell, I have no idea. Oh wait, exposition. The cover here is looking good. Alex Ross has been painting every cover of this miniseries, and this one is the most epic of all. Reed Richards and his longtime rival and former friend, Victor Von Doom, are locked in combat, and all around them, reality is shattering like glass. I am such a huge fan of Alex Ross's art. I could look at this for hours. The man has done some fantastic work. Speaking of fantastic, you can sort of tell where this story is going, judging by the cover. The hints have been in front of the readers all along that Secret Wars has been a Fantastic Four story. Our story opens mere moments after the Black Panther and Namor have threatened Doom with the awesome power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Doom tries his hardest to negotiate with Panther. He could give him everything, including his lost kingdom of Wakanda. Panther doesn't fall for it, as that would be a fake kingdom subjected to the whim of a fraud. After all, raising a new Wakanda would require a vision Doom just doesn't have. Doom snaps back with, "And you do." Oh, just fight and get it over with, you two. Looks like Namor and the Panther both have had enough of Doom's posturing, and Panther has Doom turned into glass. That has gotta suck. Namor throws his trident at the despot, shattering him into itty-bitty pieces. The Submariner admits it couldn't have been that easy, and it looks like they're right as Doom regenerates like the T-1000. Well, it would have been easy otherwise, and this comic would have been 3 pages long. Doom fires an energy blast and takes out Namor. With the Submariner incinerated, Doom now has T'Challa's complete attention and vows that they will finish this battle, not as men, but as gods. Elsewhere, Reed has found his wife Susan. She knows who he is despite not having any prior memory of her husband. Reed is skeptical that she remembers him in the way he's thinking, but as it turns out, she only remembers him as the guy who may or may not have killed Strange a few issues ago. Reed sighs. He had nothing to do with his death. It was Doom all along. She corrects him by saying, "You mean God." Richards looks up with fierce eyes and replies, "I mean Doom." You see that face? That is the face of a guy who's going to pound Doom into the ground once Panther is done with him. No matter how well-intentioned Victor was, he plans to end the charade and put the world back together again. After all, this isn't the life they are supposed to have. Not Val and Franklin, and certainly not Susan. Again she asks, "Who are you? Really?" Reed answers, "His name is Reed Richards, and he is the one who fixes things." I am also the universe's greatest royal smart person. I have been solving problems in crossover events since 1961. I am awesome. Reed and Ultimate Reed venture into a void to be greeted by Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, and apparently he's really hungry. Huh, you'd think he'd have a headache being all upside down in this panel. Reed apparently figured out that Owen is the key to fixing reality. His powers include limitless control of molecules and bending the fabric of reality itself. Surely he could fix all of the things, or at least drop a huge mountain on Doom like he did in the 80s. Reed asks how his former nemesis is doing, and Owen, as it turns out, is starving, and is totally missing Volcana from the first Secret Wars. Alternate Reed guesses that this is the source of all of Doom's power. Wow, kid. The Prime version of you caught on a lot quicker. Catch up, will ya? He introduces himself to Owen and points a small device at our Reed. Suddenly, a force field surrounds him, and he calls it a temporal bubble. Using it, he de-evolves him into an earlier form of primate. He glows a bit and remarks on how he could apologize for the betrayal, but he just couldn't tolerate the weakness Reed showed by crying earlier over the woman who isn't his wife. In the end, he asks, Who is interested in a weepy god? Owen shouts, "Me!" and promptly turns alternate Reed into individual slices. Ew. I think I'm gonna be sick. Owen just turned alternate Reed into Soylent Green. Ugh. At least one problem's taken care of. Alternate Reed was a jerk, like most people in the Ultimate Universe. Reed slowly recovers, and Owen notes that he'd better get ready because the fight will be entering his realm. Doom and Panther continue to battle outside, and Doom finishes the fight saying that they are done. T'Challa has gained nothing. Doom continues speaking and notices Panther is smiling. It turns out that this whole battle between Victor and the Panther was just a distraction. Susan and Val appear, and Sue asks Doom point blank about what happened to Doctor Strange, and if what Reed said was true. Doom replies that she'll just have to trust him, and she retorts, like Steven trusted you? Oh, snap. Doom doesn't reply, and instead goes to confront Reed. Doom then shows up in Owen's realm and screams for Reed. I love it when Doom shouts, "Richards!" It shows just how easily Reed gets under Doom's skin. And that, my friends, will be his downfall. Doom sneers at Reed, saying that he had to meddle because he is a meddler. Wow, already Victor has become unhinged. See what I mean by Richards always getting under Doom's skin? Doom may be the best supervillain in the Marvel Universe, but all it takes is one man to bring him down. And that man is Mr. Fantastic. Victor wonders what kind of fantastic plan Reed has in mind. A machine? A new take on an old problem? They've done this dance before. Reed states that he has come to convince Owen that there is a better solution to this than Doom. Doom gets annoyed. Reed has always been distracted by modern concerns close to him, like ethics and order. However, all that really mattered was survival. Doom saved millions. Owen saved millions. And in the end, Reed couldn't have even saved his family. Okay, who pushed Reed's berserk button? Reed snaps. Doom dares to choose between living and dying for millions, and he will do the same to him. Doom snaps his fingers and nothing happens. Uh-oh. Doom turns over to Owen and he asks if he brought him anything to eat. I can definitely picture Doom scoffing right now as he replies with, No, I haven't brought you anything to eat, Molecule Man. Well, saying no apparently makes the two of them equal. Fair's fair, right? You should always bring a demigod something to eat. Reed charges after Doom, and the old enemies fight it out. Doom gets wrapped up by Reed's stretchy body and constricts him like a python. Things apparently aren't so easy now that he's not omnipotent. For Doom, it has never been easy. He's always had power. Power doesn't make impossible things more palatable. Reed remarks by saying that having your life erased by someone wanting to indulge himself is never easy. He made himself God, and he tried to replace him. Doom counters with this statement. He offers salvation, and Reed shouts, "You stole my family!" There's a Liam Neeson reference I want to make here, but all I'm getting are Qui-Gon Jinn jokes. I think my imagination's broken. They chose him, Victor remarks, and asks if he can see the good he's done. He could have done more, and according to Reed, his hand was too tight around everything he held dear. So much so that it slipped right through his fingers. Doom counters by saying he required perfection, and Reed thinks he's better than him. Wow, this is so 5th grade it's not even funny. Evidently, Doom meant in this particular moment. Like that makes everything so much better. Doom asks Reed if he had the chance, would he have made things so much better? Reed nods. Of course he can, and they both know it. Rather than stopping the fight, he admits that he would, and he wants Reed dead. Seeing this, Owen seems glad that they agreed, and Doom calls out to him. It's too late, and there's a planet-shattering kaboom. Battleworld cracks like an egg, and outside the Panther tinkers with the Infinity Gauntlet. Panther, whatever you got planned, you gotta do it now. Never fight in front of a demigod would take things a little too literally. I'll remember that one. So long, Battleworld. Panther slips the gauntlet on and uses his power to fix all of the things. Doom's hold over Battleworld has been weakened since Owen put Doom on even footing with Reed, and now reality can be restored. Just don't go crazy with this power, T'Challa. Reality fades to white, and suddenly the Panther finds himself in the heart of the most technologically advanced country on Marvel's Earth, Wakanda. The Panther has returned home. T'Challa sees his reborn subjects studying a very advanced interstellar map. A new planet awaits them, one that is led by the wonders of Wakandan science. We now cut to 8 months later. Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, looks over New York City, and suddenly a head pops in. It's Owen, and he has a special message for the newest resident of what is now called the Prime Earth. Owen thanks the youth for the burger he gave him an issue ago, and says that he owes him one. All it took to fix reality was to feed Owen. I'll have to remember that one too. Miles stands on the building's ledge, and he is greeted by the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker. It's clear that he's been mentoring the kid, and asked about various chores and all that. With that out of the way, it's time for the two Spider-Men to do what they do best. Go beat up bad guys. Turn the page and we get this cool looking splash page of the two web slingers swinging into battle. This right here would be a decent ending, but we need to find out what happened to the Fantastic Four. You owe us that one, Hickman. Gotta calm down, there's a handful of pages left here. Somewhere outside of space and time, Val is explaining to Susan about what the next plan of action is, as everyone, including Reed and Franklin, look up at the stars with their new friend Owen. Owen, it seems, is now a repository for unlimited power. The power has to be directed by Reed and shaped by Franklin's cosmic powers. Basically, the Richards family are making new realities and are fixing the multiverse. They take a world Franklin makes and send it off to their own reality. A bit of Owen tags along to anchor it, and this in turn makes him more whole. Kid, that is a lot of technobabble. You really are Reed's daughter. Once all of the realities are repaired, it's up to the Richards family to go to each one and catalog them. Valeria and the rest of the Future Foundation head off toward the ship, leaving Susan to smile before she runs off to Reed. It's clear that she admires him for what he's doing, and as she says, this really is something. He's fixing the multiverse. Franklin then asks a very interesting question. Are they still superheroes? Like they ever were. Reed explains to his son that doing good counts, regardless of how you do it. So there's no heroics for a while. Just science stuff. Franklin doesn't seem to mind and runs off. Susan takes her husband aside and declares that it was a pretty final act. Reed, though, clearly misses Ben and Johnny. Susan explains how the two other members of the family can't be there. They're on their own path. Back on the Marvel Earth, a lone figure stands in the battlement of his castle as Reed talks about not being afraid to hold things you love tight, but not too tight. The figure takes a look around and removes the mask from his face. It is the face of Dr. Doom, completely healed. Our comic then ends with Reed declaring that he used to believe in the end of things, and now he believes in expansion. Everything lives, Susan. Just this once. Everything lives. And with that, Reed and family go off on a Doctor Who-like adventure. I would so read that comic. Let's take a closer look at Secret Wars number 9. Jonathan Hickman is best known for his work on the Fantastic Four comic. It was a good run, and I suggest you check it out. And like I said earlier, this series reads like a Fantastic Four story. The cover here practically beats you over the head with that fact. For all its talk about being a story where the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe collide, this story is ultimately the last story for the Fantastic Four. For a while at least. There have been a lot of mixed reactions about the comic. Some say it was a poor send-off for the Fantastic Four because Marvel Studios does not have the cinematic rights to the characters at the time of this video. Some are even calling the entire event a bid to kick the Four out of the Marvel Universe. There is a lot of negativity out there, and I mean to bring this story into a more positive light. I liked the comic. Was it a bad send-off to the Fantastic Four? No, not in my opinion. Throughout this comic, we had Dr. Doom and Reed Richards going toe-to-toe over each other's ideologies, and yes, even came to blows. The two have always been rivals, and are considered to be two of the greatest rivals in comic history, second only to Superman and Lex Luthor. Reed is a man determined to fix everything, and in the end, the event changed him. Before, he believed in a more scientific approach to life and death. Now he knows that there's more to it than that, and that is a powerful message to teach readers. Doom, too, has also changed. If you read Iron Man, you'll note that he is back and is trying to help Tony. Sadly, it has been met with criticism on his part. I doubt anyone can blame Stark. The road to redemption for Doom is going to take a long, long time. If he really has changed for the better. The sad thing about Doom is that he could have made it better for everyone, but instead made it better for himself. He wanted all that Reed had, took it, and made Susan believe he was God. How do you redeem yourself after that? Time will tell. I'm not saying this comic is without flaws. It has some. The action was all over the place, and didn't really stop. But what I really liked most was Reed and Doom's battle. That was their story to tell. This was the end result of a rivalry that has gone on since 1962. To see it played out like this was somehow fitting. Each man now has what they wanted most in life. You can't really ask for anything more than that. The story of two rivals has come to an end. Reality has been restored. It's all in a day's work for the world's greatest royal smart person. Now let's talk about the other elephant in the room. Will the Fantastic Four return? Marvel editor Tom Brevoort has been hesitant to give a yes or no answer, and stated that the comic is the last Fantastic Four story, because it's a natural end that spun out of what happened when Hickman wrote the book. To that I say, yeah, they'll be back. Did you expect me to say no? Do you even know me? Let me put it to you this way. After a few years of being away, Steve Rogers is returning to the mantle of Captain America, and is sharing that role with Falcon. There are no absolutes in the world of comics. The Fantastic Four will return. No one at the time of this video really knows when. They could return in a year. They could return when Marvel secures the movie rights to the Four. Who can say? I wasn't kidding when I said I'd read a book like this where the team hops from reality to reality, fixing things. That sounds like fun, and exploring the unknown is what the Fantastic Four are known for. All we have now is Ben Grimm with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Human Torch with the Avengers, and the world thinking Reed and Sue are dead. They'll be back. We have definitely not seen the last of the world's greatest comic magazine. And if we have, well, this was a pretty good ending. And I do like me some happy endings. The whole Secret Wars is worth checking out, but I suggest you stay with the core miniseries, just for simplicity's sake. As for me, I'm hopeful about the Fantastic Four. They'll be back, somehow, and someday.